What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Easy Jack from Blaylock. And what you're going to use this for is you can pull up your camper right up on there and it's going to get that tire up off the ground and make it easier to change out the tire with it up like that. You don't have to get a bottle jack out there and get it underneath the vehicle and crawl in there and get that all raised up. You just pull back on here, drive up, you see it lifts up like this, or you can flip it upside down and use it as a wheel chock. Let's check it out. Coming in for a closer look at it, I'm going to explain how it worked. We started by putting the Easy Jack at the front of our tire here, and we pulled it all forward and it rolled up to this where it is now on that point. And with that tire up in the air, it also lifted this one up off the ground, so now we can free spin it and we can know that it's okay to work on it because it's up off of the ground. So if you have a single axle trailer, this is not going to be able to be used as a jack because you have to have the one tire up to lift the other. Something I want to make clear is when you got the one side up off the ground, you want to come over here on the opposite side, make sure you use the wheel chocks, and then also use the parking brake on your vehicle to make sure nothing moves around. The Easy Jack's made out of a cast aluminum, so there's definitely some benefits to that. One, it's going to be very durable. It's going to hold up to 20,000 pounds. Also, if you use it outside and it rains, the elements aren't going to bother it. It is aluminum, so you don't have to worry about rust or corrosion. Another thing is, if you have some of those plastic ones you used before, they don't really hold up in the winter all that well. The elements kind of get to them, they can crack or break, and if your tires are on there and it cracks or breaks, that plastic is sharp, so it could puncture your tire and cause a bunch of issues, and then you're out of tire and you don't have a jack anymore either. As I said earlier, you can also use this as a wheel chock, so what we're going to do, we got it flipped upside down, put it into place, give it a couple kicks to wedge it in there nice, and there you go. I like that it has two different uses because you're not going to always need it as a jack, but it's nice that if you do have a couple of these, you can flip them around and use them as a chock just to keep your trailer in place. Now you can still use it on a single axle trailer. You can see where you're using it as a wheel chock right now, but we could also use it to level out side to side. So what we would do is put it in the front of the tire just like we did before, pull up on it, and then that would raise up that side and hopefully level it out for us on the trailer. So whatever side you need it level on is what side you would use it on. Now you can also use it with smaller motorhomes as long as it fits the weight capacity, or even truck bed campers, but in that instance you need to get two of them because you need one per axle, and you put them on the same side. So either put them both on the driver's side or both on the passenger side to, again, level out that side to side. If you're going to use it as a leveler, we recommend go ahead and getting something like a wheel chock or a wedge here to put in underneath the Easy Jack just to help keep it upright, because then you'd want to bring the tire back just a little bit so it sits in there like a cradle, kind of cradles the tire versus it just kind of being on the end there. Because if you're using it as a jack, nobody's going to be up in your rig, but if you're using a leveler, you can have people walk around back and forth, and you don't want this just rocking back and forth. Now we'll go over some measurements just to make sure it fits in your basement door, because you know, you want to keep it on you at all times for an emergency blowout or just routine maintenance. You want it on you, make sure it fits in there with all your other gear. So from end to end, it's going to be 24 inches. That's also going to be 6 inches tall, and it's going to be 6 1/8 of an inch wide. So let's just go ahead and put it in the basement door and see, as big as it looked in my hands, it still fits in there just fine with room to spare. Overall, I think it's a very useful thing to have. It's far easier to roll up on this than to get a normal jack out there, put it underneath there, get your camper rose up so you can get on there and do the maintenance. This is far easier and quicker, which you definitely want when it's time to work on this. Also, I think it's better and more reliable than other options. If you're using it as a leveler, those got those plastic pieces we talked about earlier that can break, you know, are really, in winter they're more prone to break than later on, so you know that this is going to hold up just fine. You don't have to worry about that plastic pieces or anything like that. And even if you use boards to stack up, which we don't recommend you do, but it would take like 4 or 5 boards just to get it up this high off the ground, and you want to haul that stuff with you all the time. Much easier to have this in that basement door ready to go. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.